You'd really think that this being my 5th pregnancy, I would know if I'm in early labor or not, but I have no idea because it feels different literally every single time. I woke up at 4 a.m. having a lot of Braxton Hicks, super frequent, every 5 minutes, timeable, along with like period cramps and a very sharp pain in my lower back. That was really uncomfortable for me. I couldn't sleep. I normally wake up around like 7 in the morning. So I'm just gonna go through a quick video that has, you know, signs of early labor or the start of labor. I don't want to say like preterm isn't early, but you know what I'm saying, like, is this labor? So let's just go through it. You can learn with me. I'm just gonna make it personal by making it related to myself, but feel free to relate it to yourself if you're going through this also. So there's percentages on when you actually go into labor. So like to go into labor at 36 weeks, it's like a 10% chance, and 37 weeks, I think it's a 25% chance. 38 weeks is like a 30 or 40% chance, and 39 weeks was the highest chance of labor. So if you go to 40 weeks, it starts to fall again. So supposedly these are signs that labor is 24 to 48 hours away. If your baby's kicking like crazy, they're probably gearing up for labor. Never heard that before. It's kind of interesting. Number 2 would be Braxton Hicks, and that's also false labor. I hate Braxton Hicks. They're more annoying than painful. Some of them are actually kind of painful. They will actually radiate up the center of my back and cause discomfort, but it's not like labor cramps, you know. A lower backache, and that's because your pelvis is actually opening up or expanding to allow the baby to drop further or descend further down into the pelvis. I have that. And the Braxton Hicks. And the baby kicker. Oh my god, my baby's going crazy. So the next would be dilation or cervical dilation, where your cervix is actually opening up. I don't think I have that. I don't think I'm dilating, and I don't really want to go and get a check at my next appointment. I just want it to happen naturally, because usually it aggravates my cervix and it causes spotting and more cramping that is like not giving any progress. So I'm going to avoid that. This video says vaginal discharge, but it's not like a bloody show. It's not blood tinged. It's not like mucusy or thick. It's just leukorrhea, which is like that creamy white, odorless, normal discharge. Cervical mucus, but a lot more of it. Number 6 was losing the mucus plug. I just mentioned I have not lost my mucus plug. The mucus plug is actually like a plug or like a cork that's made up of like mucus. It's a protection, like a barrier, so that bacteria, germs, infections can't get into the uterus and affect your baby. So number 7 would be lightening, or the baby dropping. Dropping is when your baby actually starts to descend into the pelvis, kind of like we were talking about the back pain earlier. Dropping is just like the sure sign that it's actually happening. Number 8 would be like a change in energy or nesting. I have a change in energy, but the opposite way. Like, I want to sleep. I'm really tired, and it could be because I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. But I'm waiting for the nesting energy to kick in because I'm super exhausted. Number 9 would be sleep changes, or if you're having insomnia. I have that so bad. Like I said, I woke up at 4 a.m. for no reason. It's horrible. I wake up tossing and turning, and I feel like I'm ready to start the day. It's not like I just can't get comfortable. It's more like my brain is awake. 10 is vaginal changes. So if you feel swelling, discomfort, just like the, you know, more cervical mucus, pressure, oh my gosh, lightning crotch, that just means the baby's putting pressure on that vagina, the cervix, which is ultimately going to cause cervical dilation. I'm having a ton of that, ton of it. But I also have a weak pelvic floor. I think I was referred to pelvic therapy after I gave birth to my last baby. We're just getting a little too deep, and we're gonna skip up to the next one. This video says getting fitter. I'm definitely not getting fitter. So my last time that I went to the doctor, I gained 4 pounds in a week, she said, but it was actually 2 weeks. She was wrong. I wasn't there a week prior. It was 2 weeks. She had to cancel my appointment. She forgot she had COVID, so joke's on her. And I went back this time 2 weeks later, and I'd only gained 2 pounds. So maybe I am getting fitter. But I also have a loss of appetite. I just don't want to eat a lot of food right now. For your labor to be starting in 12 to 24 hours, it'd be losing the bloody show. This has happened to me twice. Anytime that I lost the bloody show, I was actually in active labor, but it was the early, so like the beginning of active labor. Number 2, this person mentions your baby being less active. I'm gonna cut that one right out. I don't believe that your baby should be less active. They should still have the same patterns. So a pattern would be like your baby's active in the morning, active after juice, active at bedtime. Whenever your baby's active or is moving, they should still be moving. So if your baby's kind of lost their pattern, always go right in and get checked out. Your baby should not. I feel like it's like a super common misconception that your baby gets relaxed or lazy before birth, when actually they might just be facing your spine in order to prepare for birth. So you might not be feeling as much movement or as hard of movements, but your baby should stay just as active as before. Follow the pattern, not like the kick counts. They mention number 3 being the water breaking. If your water is breaking, unless if this is preterm labor, you're gonna have that baby. There's a risk of infection if you don't have the baby, and if contractions don't start, you are going to need to be induced. They're gonna give you some Pitocin, so you can get labor going, because it's not safe for the baby just to be in there chilling with a broken water bag. It's uterine contractions that are regular, and they're actually causing changes to the cervix. And number 5 would be, it says wide cervix. I'm offended. A wide cervix, they just mean dilation. You could be 6 centimeters dilated and still not in active labor. So I'm throwing that one out, because people have been hella dilated for weeks and still not actually having contractions to get the baby out. Like, your baby's not just gonna fall out of your cervix and vagina. You need the contractions to help get that baby out. So I don't know why they included this. Out of that video, I don't know how many things that I have going on, and I'm still sitting here just as clueless as I was before I watched the video, because there's no telling. Unless you have the last, what, 5? I'm gonna say 4, because mine is the wide cervix. I'm short of breath now, and I'm gonna go do some squats. So if you did this video along with me, let me know how many of these symptoms or labor signs you're having. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up so I know that I should be creating more content like this. And let's stay tuned for my labor and delivery vlog. Hopefully it's soon.